106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Welcome to the Goddamn Podcast with Drew and TJ. Let's get this goddamn thing started.
All right. Welcome to the Goddamn Podcast. A couple of quick announcements. Thank you to our big-time top patron, Chris B. You know who you are, and I know you're here listening, so we appreciate it. I've got your shit boxed up over here, and you're going to be getting one of these shirts. They had to resend it out because instead of the gradient being like red to yellow like it's supposed to be, it was like pink to white. I was like, yeah, I don't know if he's going to be too happy with that shirt. But I'll tell you what, we will do some kind of contest and give that out maybe to a female viewer, or maybe a gay viewer that, or maybe a gay female viewer, somebody that likes pink, because it's more of a pink kind of gradient. So maybe you'll enjoy it. It's a one of a kind. All right. So we have a lot of material to cover. A lot. I had to stop because I had so much. I mean, we might have just saved some for next week. And although our interview for this week fell through, unfortunately, I am going to make up with it with some awesome Thug Lives. So nice. You have that to look forward to. And we have a lot of good material, so a few requests and a lot of shit that Drew and I have found on our own. We'll start off with a real quick one that Drew showed me. I thought it was pretty funny, so I'll share it with you guys.
And my brothers, I heard David said just the other day, oh, if I had wings like this dove, for then will I fly away and be at rest.
Amen. God damn it, dude. The noise when it hits now, I go, oh.
It's like dunk.
Oh, I love that fucking video.
Classic shit. You gotta love when, I mean, what did you expect was gonna happen? He's probably squeezing the absolute shit out of that poor dove right now. You know, it's like,
his wings up, like.
It's all of mice and men and shit. He's all like, I love this here dove. He throws it up in the air. It just kind of twitches and falls to the fucking ground. Oh my God.
Everything about that video is just great.
Yeah, that was a good one. Bravo to you, sir.
Oh yeah.
All right. This one I just found, and I figured it would be a good, a good starting place for us to really have something to talk about and someone to laugh at. So let's enjoy this.
Well, pot may be safer for you than you think, according to a brand new study. It suggests that marijuana may be the least dangerous recreational drug out there, even over nicotine and alcohol.
Well, this may be good news for Alaska and D.C. residents, where pot just became legal this week. But is it really that safe? Joining us now is Fox News Medical A-Team's Dr. David Simani. Thanks for being with us.
Sure. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this is their medical A-team. All right, keep that in mind while you listen to this motherfucker.
Good morning.
You say the study actually can be misleading a little bit.
I think it's a very dangerous study, and there are a lot of holes in this, and people have to be very careful about not getting the wrong message from this particular study. They're using a lethal dose as a comparison. For example, they're putting pot or weed against cocaine or alcohol and smoking. So we know that you need less amount of alcohol to die. So they're using death as a measure to see what's dangerous and what's not. So the effect of this toxicity, the toxicology dose, is different for a lot of these. They're extrapolating a lot of these animal studies and surveys that doesn't make much of a sense, and coming with this whole thing that pot is safer. Absolutely not. It's a huge fraud in this particular
Okay, so how
study.
so? How is it dangerous? Forgetting death, of
Because
course.
they're not defining what's the acute toxicity, short-term versus long-term. So, for example, if you like really start drinking a lot of alcohol, of course you can die from this, or cocaine or other things. With this, the long-term effect of pot is not very clear. Now, a lot of this has to do with what we call THC, the level.
What we call THC. Like,
No, I love that his first still is like, he's like, well, they say it's safer because it'll take way more marijuana or whatever than alcohol or cocaine. It's like, yeah, and it does. So that makes it fucking safer.
exactly.
Right?
And he's like, and they're using it as a measure, like a death as the measure. Well, as how dangerous. Well, yeah, the most dangerous drugs would cause you to die. That would be why they are dangerous.
Yeah.
You complete. Oh, this gets better. You haven't seen this? Oh, it gets better. Just wait. Just wait.
Of THC and a lot of these marijuanas are different. Used to be 1%, now it's 4%, it's going up to 7%. THC goes through your blood as you smoke it, gets to your brain, and it causes a lot of memory loss. It causes cognitive skills, mood changes, twofold risk of psychosis, long term. Now, what I learned about this, preparing for this segment, is it affects your heart. It actually causes heart attack, 5-fold times increases your heart rate, and on and on. We're seeing in Colorado, we had 13 kids that came to the emergency, ended up in the ICU as a result of overdose.
Okay.
Wow.
13 kids in Colorado overdosing. Now, you might eat too much of the edibles and like kind of freak out and take yourself to the ER, and they might want to label that like freaking out because you did too much as overdosing or whatever, but it's not overdosing in the sense that you are in any danger of dying. You just can't consume. Like pure THC, like a drop of pure nicotine will do your body massive damage, but a drop of pure THC will do nowhere near the damage that nicotine does, and yet nicotine is totally allowed, and he's, I guess, downplaying the deaths from drinking and the heart disease and the lung freaking problems from smoking and all that, and saying, no, it's pot because we haven't studied enough. That makes it, and even those studies that are coming out are saying it's not as dangerous as these other things. We can't trust those studies because those studies are just coming out because we've kept it illegal so long. And the studies we did do were like pumping straight smoke into rat cages, and they would die
While they have no oxygen.
Exactly, they died of like a lack of oxygen, not from the actual marijuana. You would die of any kind of smoke was pumped in there.
Right,
at that rate.
I guess people don't realize you have to have oxygen to fucking breathe.
Brilliant scientists we had back then.
Yeah.
But here,
and also, one of the things he touched on is something that I've heard a lot, is this whole thing about how, the hippies pot back in the 60s was like 1 or 2%. Now it's up to, THC is like going through the roof. It's like, yeah, but doesn't that just mean it takes less to get you high?
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't make it any more dangerous necessarily.
It's like saying, well, beer back in the day was only 3% alcohol, but now it's 6% alcohol. Ooh, that just means it takes you fewer beers to catch a buzz.
Yeah. And actually, wouldn't that make it safer because now you're drinking less amounts of it?
No.
In the case of smoking weed, now you're smoking less, right? They say the problem is
I
the
disagree.
problem not being
I disagree there because people tend to like still drink a bunch, and then if it's got more alcohol in it, they get more drunk.
I'm saying how it relates to marijuana. They're saying the problem with marijuana is not necessarily THC; it's the fact that all the smoke and everything, right? So now, if you're smoking less, wouldn't that be better for you?
Yeah, smoking wise. Well, I mean, honestly, what would be better is if you use like a vaporizer or you used edibles, because smoking anything is bad for you. So yeah, I mean, it's burning plant matter. It is going to affect you. The human body's not meant to take that in. It's going to kill the cilia in your brain. It's going to affect your lungs and all that shit. So, there are better ways to do it, but it makes it a lot easier to do those things and the less risky ways if you legalize it.
Right, but I'm just saying that argument seems to kind of backfire. Like the THC counts higher now. Now you just smoke less. Now you're inhaling less of the harmful smoke.
Yeah, it definitely. Well, we don't really need to use comprehensive arguments because the gem of this video is about to come out right now. Enjoy.
from marijuana. Now we have crack babies coming in because pregnant women are smoking this whole marijuana business.
Yeah.
Your problem with crack babies coming in has to do with marijuana?
Because we have the crack babies in because the mothers are smoking all this marijuana business. This is their medical A fucking team.
Crack babies. Oh my God.
What?
Oh, dude, what they will do to like fit a fucking agenda, man.
I mean, how dumb do you have to be to watch this and be like, oh, goddamn, I forgot about the crack babies. When I was coming up with all these arguments against marijuana, I totally forgot the crack baby argument. That's the one you need to throw in there. All these crack babies.
I gotta say, how come you never hear about weed babies? I mean, you hear about babies being born that have marijuana in their system or whatever, but you never hear about like some kid coming out like fucking shoulder scratching and shit, you know?
Yeah, but Nancy Grace did show me one time a video of a toddler smoking a joint.
Look, TJ, look.
I saw. I'm looking, Nancy. Thank you. Good old Nancy. We should bring her back in a show, and we'll definitely have to have an interview with her.
Yeah, we'll try to get Nancy. She'll try to get with us. Probably.
Yeah, of course. That we just mention it, and they're like, oh my god, they'll do an interview with me. Like, dude, Ted was all over that, and we do apologize for the interview not coming through, but you know, we just had too much material, and we're like, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to bump you until next week.
Yeah.
And so I mean, we just have too much material to get to. I'm sorry, and you're just not really important enough, and so basically that's the way it goes. They're understanding. They understand they're not important enough. Do we need to listen to any more of this dipshit?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
That was a good one to start off with, though.
Oh, thank you. Goddamn crack babies.
The crack babies and their marijuana.
And this marijuana business.
That reminds me of the guy, that voice. It's like, and he was breaking the sound of the barrier.
Breaking the sound of the barrier. Oh, oh. Well, maybe we'll play that later for people who don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Most of you probably know, though. All right. Here's our old buddy. He's got a message for us, so let's see.
This is Ray, who says, a guest on the 700 Club stated that Islam is the enemy for Christians. How should one convince Christians in the Middle East who've lived together as friends with Muslims for generations that they must consider them as enemies because of the Islamic infidels?
Well, you know, radical Islam, it's like something happened, like a trigger went off, and what was latent in Islam, and it's there, it's in the Quran, it's in the writings of Muhammad. Muhammad was a warrior, and his followers were warriors, and they killed and pillaged without mercy. So it's been there. But then we've had a peaceful time. What existed in Spain, for example, the Jews and the Muslims and Christians all lived together in harmony.
Like the Spanish Inquisition. Harmony.
Well, was the person asking the question, were they trying to say that we should get Christians to not be friendly with the Muslims in like Egypt and shit?
I guess that. I think they get a lot of troll questions at this point. But the ending of this video is really what it's all about.
But underneath that were the basic teachings, and how these radical groups have been activated, whether it was the Gulf War that did it, whether it was something else that did it, but something has activated this latent spirit in Islam, and now it's there. But you can still love people, but just be aware that they're trying to kill you.
Yeah.
God damn it.
You can love those Muslims. Just be aware that they are trying to fucking kill you. Because I mean, the Christian thing to do is to love them, but the smart thing to do is be aware that they're trying to kill you.
And especially because he's directly addressing a question that is saying that like Christians and Muslims in Egypt are getting along. And basically that's what I was asking, is like the lady or whoever it was writing the question, it's like, well, shouldn't we kind of entice them to not get along because they're enemies, right? And then of course Pat's like, well, you're supposed to love them, but remember that they're gonna fucking kill you. You give them a chance.
All right. Have you followed the net neutrality thing at all?
Very little.
Okay.
Very
Well,
little.
do you understand basically what it's about? Like the basics of it? Like
Kind of, I guess, in a nutshell. I don't.
Yeah, the nutshell thing being like, okay, the ruling that the FCC, basically is not going to allow certain companies to be able to pay extra to get faster speeds because they want everyone to be equal, and they know that bigger companies will have the money, and it'll hurt startup companies and small, hurt the everyday kind of person while it helps big interest, right? So of course the Republicans are all about it, and they do nothing but spread misinformation about it. They try and flip it on its head, like, oh, it's really them squashing your freedom and shit like that. And so here we have our smartest dumb person explaining it to us in a short clip.
This whole FCC net neutrality thing that's been out there, you've mentioned the word oligarchy before, and here we are with the FCC commissioners. Do you what road are we going down here?
By the way, you can just hear his mouth like it's so fucking annoying. Drink some water, motherfucker.
As it relates to net neutrality, how concerned are you, and do you believe the president bears any responsibility in this?
That's what that noise is?
Yeah, that's his lips like smacking on his teeth and his fucking gums. Jesus, I couldn't even pay attention to the question because of that noise. Let me go back a little bit. Oh, it's so bad.
How concerned are you, and do you believe the president bears any responsibility in this?
Yes, I believe he bears responsibility. I believe anybody who wants to impose another level of secrecy and control in the private lives of citizens is not our friend. We need to be exploring ways to allow people to do what they want to do. They've been doing it for years, so why should we now impose a layer of government control?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the same thing that they always say about everything else with corporations and shit.
Yeah, but he's like flipping it on its head. And then the argument like don't do it because don't make a law like that because people have already been doing it for years. Well, I guess you would follow that with like marijuana. You would say, oh, fuck it. Why make a law against it? People have been doing it for years anyway. Right? I mean, and he seems genuinely slow. Like he might, I mean, I'm not trying to pick on any kind of handicapped type of person, but he might does he have like Asperger's or something? Because he's really smart, but he seems really awkward and slow in his speech and even like his hand gestures. I would be, if he wasn't a world-renowned like neurosurgeon and you put me just and said he's a guy that's going to be operating on your brain, I'd be like, oh hell no, no.
But what he seems to be getting at, dude, is it not just that same thing where it's like, well, you see, they want to put government in this spots, and we don't want government in our lives. But the thing is, like, the conservatives, they want just as much government as the Democrats want. The Republicans want just as much government as the Democrats want.
Want it in your bedroom.
They want it in different places. Yeah,
they want it in your bedroom.
They want it deciding who can get married. They want to decide what drugs you can use, if any, what rights women have over their bodies.
That you have to give in to the cops. If the cops say, like, there was a recent story, and for all those people that are like, you just obey the cops no matter what, and they pulled this poor old guy out of his classic car because they made a mistake running the fucking plates and shit, and pulled him out and made him like take off his shirt on the side of the freeway and like spin around and put him on his knees and cuffed him and all this shit. And they're like, yeah, you're going to jail, you piece of shit. And da-da-da. It's just this innocent old guy that they fucking screwed up on the plates, running the plates, and it came back to a stolen car or whatever. Or I'm sorry, they had trouble with the plates, and so they ran the VIN on what they thought the plates were, and it came back as a stolen car. So they fucking went through all that at gunpoint and shit. And those, I guess, old Republicans would be the same people that tell you just do what the cops tell you. Well, the cops are people too. They fuck up. Yeah. People make mistakes. Cops are people. Therefore, cops make mistakes.
Very nice.
It's that fucking simple. God damn. All right. Here's a request from our top patron. He wanted me to check out this phone number, and so instead, I found a video of someone else checking it out so that I could just play it for everybody else, because that's what I do. So here we go. It's an important message from some other Republicans that might not be big fans of Ben Carson.
Greetings. You have reached the loyal white knights of the KKK. Since it is Thanksgiving, we in the Klan are thankful for Officer Darren Wilson for getting acquitted for killing that nigger thug who was trying to rob a convenience store, Michael Brown. The man was doing his job. We're also thankful that we killed the Indians, the savage race, and took over their land and founded America. We're also thankful to God for AIDS and Ebola and killing out the mud races and the queers. And we are definitely thankful that it is Obama's last term as president in wrecking this country. Save our land, join the Klan. Go to our website at kkknights.com. It's KKKNIGHTS.com, or leave your name, number with area code, and we'll get back to you. White power. Always remember, if it ain't white, it ain't right.
I love how it's the KKK Knights, and he has to explain that's KKK KNIGHTS. It's KKK Knights. All right. Jesus.
Damn, dude, that's like so much.
Yeah.
For just a voice, like a voicemail, dude. Like Jesus.
Some hardcore shit.
I guess, hey, dude, if you call him up, you want to know exactly what you're getting into, and he lets you. Let you know, he brought up the Indians.
He went from we're thankful that Darren Wilson killed that nigger kid, and then we also thankful we killed the Indians, and then made their land America for the white people. That's right, white power. Reminds me of Dave Chappelle's skit with the black white supremacist Clayton Bigsby. He's like, "Woogie boogie." Epic clip. All right, so yeah, that and by the way, I did manage to grab that from World Star Hip Hop. So,
in case you guys didn't know.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, and I mean that's a reputable source. It's run by the African American community.
Jesus.
Also features a lot of fight videos. Very interesting stuff. All right. That was the stuff I didn't even have in this show's folder. Actually, you know what? It's time for a Thug Life after that one. After that one, it's perfect timing for a fucking Thug Life. Would anybody else out there like a Thug Life? I think.
Let's get a thumbs up for a Thug Life.
And if you're watching the live show and you have to hear us talking to the chat, well, maybe you should try and make a live show next time, bitch.
Yeah, it's every week. Thug Life. Do you have to ask? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Enjoy, motherfuckers.
What was the most infantile suggestion you made to your wife on your first date, Joe?
Why don't you eat something?
All right. Patty says the most infantile suggestion was that she shouldn't be so closed-minded.
I should be looser, you know.
You were loose enough that night.
So come on and tickety check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I'm laughing straight to the bank with this. I'm laughing straight to the bank with this.
But there are two rules in politics. They say never, ever be pictured with a drink in your hand and never swear. But this is a big fucking day. Way to go, guys.
My business as a product.
I'm straight product.
My business as a product. to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you.
These niggas been drinking.
Bro, come on, man. Bro, you gonna try to
shit about to get real in the studio.
Like I ain't never gonna. Bro, I need my motherfucking money, bro. Come on, fam.
Shit about to get real in the studio.
Did I always tell you that I was gonna give you the bread?
I ain't trying to hear none of that shit, bro. Money.
I'll crack your motherfucking head with this fucking bottle.
Hold on, nigga. That ain't gonna go down. That's my brother, nigga.
Hey,
Chill.
What the fuck you talking about, bitch?
I'm talking to you, nigga. Who the fuck are you calling a bitch?
Oh,
no, who the fuck are you calling a bitch? No, hold on, bro. You respect me, nigga.
Straight out of Compton, it's a crazy brother named Ice Cube. From the stupid dope gang with an attitude. When I'm caught off, I got a sword off. Kick knowledge and bodies on.
This is a travel mug, but it's almost like a magic trick. Because let me show you. You can't knock it over, but yet you can pick it straight up.
How is that possible?
Try it. It's the magic of, well, you can push it hard. Come on.
You know what? You're right, though. But
Okay, you gotta, but otherwise they lift right up. They lift right up. Mighty mug.
Nigga, do you know who you fucking with? Ice Cube is the lick, West Side is the flick. Can't get enough of this gangster shit.
You're an audience member that wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Sweetie, it's her birthday.
So what? So what? I know. I have a rule. I don't talk to people.
You are such a jerk, and I'm a...
Do you answer your phone at the movie theater?
No, wait.
Do you answer your phone at the movie theater?
I'm a comedian.
What is that?
You're fat.
I'm fat? Check this out.
Yeah, don't judge me.
Every tat means something. That's my word on my body. I have to lean something. Oh, John, he's going. He's going. He's sucking diesel. Chug. Yo, I've been labeled a bad guy since birth. I was put on the part of the oath.
For all those haters out there, suck my ass. Get off. Get off.
Что там? Давай Тему разбудим, это уже.
Да Тёма и не спит, да, Тёма?
Да?
Тёма?
Давай.
Блин, слушай, объезжай, 3 часа ночи уже задрало.
Да не говори уже, глаза смыкаются.
Ребят, поехали, а?
Что там такое? Ну поехали, ребят. Что там?
Women line up to date guys like me, and you've had them all on your show.
I don't see any women lined up at all. I don't see any women lined up to you, and I would definitely be at the end of that line.
Well, if you hit the treadmill a little more, you'd be at the front.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
That guy right there could have been on the goddamn podcast.
I was just about to say, son of a bitch has style, bro.
Style. Gotta love them aviators. By the way, you'll be able to get your own goddamn glasses here without being a patron soon. They'll still cost you, but becoming a patron is the easiest way to get your goddamn glasses and your goddamn shirt,
your goddamn gear,
and get front row when you're making goddamn requests, shit like that. So
and we'll give you front row in the chat too.
Why not?
That's an extra perk.
All right, let's do one more and then we'll take a quick break.
Cool.
All right. How about, oh man, I have so much material for this fucking show. This was also a request. This is at, someone said, their local church. And I guess you just have to watch it to understand it. There's no really describing it.
Wait, so this is, someone sent this in that it was from their church?
Like a local church in their area, I guess.
Okay.
And this is from a patron, so thank you. Enjoy. My new dance move. Withholding nothing. Withholding nothing. I know my voice is incredible. But yeah, like, what? I want to go to this church. I want to get stoned as fuck and go to this church I'll wake up early every Sunday and go to that church. This instead of American Sign Language, it's Christian Mime language.
What do they call that? That shit. I don't. You seen? Oh, goddamn! What's the movie that's in? Big Lebowski.
Oh, I was gonna say V for Vendetta. Like, what is this shit?
Big Lebowski, right?
Yeah.
Remember, he has like that neighbor that keeps inviting him to like the theater because he does like that thing. You know what I'm talking about? He does like that thing where he's like dressed with like, I don't know. It's just like him on stage, and he does like a dance, and like the music's going.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
What is that shit called?
Oh God, I forget. I haven't seen Big Lebowski in a long time. It's a movie
that's what,
I need to rewatch.
This reminds me of.
I need to rewatch that one. I do enjoy. I remember the first couple times I watched it, I loved it, and it is a classic. But I've been pressed for time. Damn it. That'll be a treat for me once I get everything else in my life taken care of. I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna take an hour and a half or 2 hours to myself and just watch an old movie. Big Lebowski. It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty old, man. When is that from?
99.
Oh, Jesus, makes me feel old. I graduated in 99.
Yeah, you old fuck.
I know. I just look incredibly young.
Oh my God! You graduated in 99?
Yes, sir. Let me skip forward a little bit because this is like an 8-minute video, almost 9-minute. Let me skip forward and see where we're at here. Still withholding nothing, apparently. Actually got that old lady to fucking go get on her knees. Like, Jesus. The guy is... It's almost like you expect him to pull out a fucking AK at any moment.
Like dead presidents? Or
yeah, like... withholding nothing.
Yeah, somebody just said it in the chat, and that's damn straight. We need to ban whiteface. That's racist.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. He's pretty much just calling us honkies right to our face.
Yeah.
That's messed
up.
up.
Makes me sick. I'm going to call up that Knights of the KKK number.
Leave a message. Have you seen this video? Oh my God. Oh Jesus. All right. I can't believe Lady's on her knees. I'm going to watch another 30 seconds of this. I wonder how long it took him to like, oh, I got this down. All right. I go, Withholding nothing, give myself away. I got this shit. Oh my God, I'm gonna be the biggest hit with all the old ladies at church. Oh fuck,
Jeez,
man!
And it's like the same thing for 8 minutes.
Oh, almost 9 minutes.
God damn it! He's like not even doing anything. Like,
oh no, I guess he gets into the crowd here later. You want to?
Yeah.
I'm gonna download this so I can listen to it while I'm at work.
That's gonna get you all jacked up.
Jesus Christ! I mean, I know that current like music, pop music, and all that shit is really repetitive, but Christ, literally, Christ, that is repetitive, man. 9 minutes, and they get worked up over this shit. Fuck's sake, man! All right, I have so much material. I think I might just like go in order. So. Here we go. I guess I should set this one up a little bit. Remember the guy who said we should put gays in concentration camps? This is
the guy that's again it.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of his.
Do the same thing with the queers and the homosexuals, and have that fence electrified till they can't get out. Feed them, and you know what? In a few years they'll die out.
I'm glad I'm a proud member of Providence Road Baptist Church in Maiden, North Carolina. My pastor is Brother Charles L. Worley.
Good, how you doing? My name's Joey. Jeffrey Shook.
Just talk right in that right.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Stay about right this far.
This far, okay. Jeffrey Shook. Yes, sir. Shook. S-H-O-K.
Hey, okay.
Layla. Jeffrey.
Layla right here. Thanks for sitting down with us.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate it very much.
Sir.
Tell us your name, where you're from, and a little bit about you, and why you're so passionate to be here.
Okay. My name's Jeffrey Shook. I'm from Maiden, North Carolina. I'm a member of Providence Road Baptist Church. Brother Charles Worley is my pastor. And the greatest day of my life, if you don't mind me giving a little testimony myself. Sure. Greatest day, well, actually, I'm 33 years old. I'll be 34 in July. But on April 28th.
You don't look a day over 39.
Thank you, sir. But greatest day of my life was April 28, 1991. That's when the Spirit of God at Providence Road Baptist Church showed me I was a lost sinner, raised in church all my life. And Jesus come by and showed me I was lost. And without God, I'll be honest with you, I've never drunk a beer, I've never smoked a cigarette, never dipped, never snuck out my mom and daddy's house, go to a wild party. But I was just as lost as anybody else could be. Thought I was good enough to go to heaven.
Okay, so he's basically the biggest loser that you've ever fucking met in your life. like if you were like really desperate for a roommate, you'd still pass this guy up. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't even hang out with this guy.
You're like, fuck it, I'll just get evicted. I'll just get evicted. Fuck. If I gotta, it's eviction or this guy, eviction. Fuck it, I'll be homeless. I'm not living with this motherfucker. Not gonna happen. All right, it's a long interview. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit to where he's talking more about his defense of his pastor.
Well, that's just, I think a lot of people just basically took that out of context of what the whole truth was. I know people's heard that probably 1,000 times.
Will you put it into context?
Put it in context. What he was trying to say was, if you get them, or lesbians on this side, or the sodomites on this side, the men with the men and the women with women, eventually it's just going to be done with because they cannot reproduce, and they was making a point that it's unnatural. God didn't make nobody born that way. That's a choice that they had to make.
That sounds like.
All right, so he the out of context thing, he's like, they took it out of context, and then he just backed it up.
Yeah, because that's what I was just about to say. Does he even know what the fuck context is?
I don't think he does. I think it's just like something that they use like to say when someone repeats something they say and everyone else thinks it's disgusting. They're like, wait, what am I supposed to say now? Out of context. yeah. You took me out of context. And then so what was the context? Well, the context was put all them fags and queers behind an electrified fence and they die out because they can't reproduce. It's not natural. Well, wait a second. They're born obviously to people who have sex, which would be like heterosexual. Like even bisexual people can have sex and their kids aren't necessarily bisexual or gay or anything like that. So, I mean, and the idea that it's a choice. Who in the fuck would choose to be like the ostracized minority without the same rights and everything as everyone else? Yeah. They're like, oh no, the dick is just too powerful. I don't think that. Maybe that's why I can like understand where gay people are coming from. Whereas for people like this, they can't fathom that shit because I guess he wants the dick so bad. He's like just searching fucking throbbing cock online all night long, and he can't fathom how you can be like just a normal person that because he chooses not to do it on a daily, and he thinks that the choice is to basically come out of the closet, I guess.
Well, TJ, don't shoot me down here, but he does kind of have that Freddie Mercury thing going on.
Oh my God, how can I not shoot him? Dude, damn, man, come on. This guy, nothing about this guy screams Queen at all.
But I guess dumbass is just breeding in this church because whenever it first happened, they got onto the pastor, right? I remember, what was it, Anderson Cooper of CNN did an interview with that lady. You remember that?
Oh yeah, dude, I covered that.
She said the same thing.
She's like, y'all just took it out of context. What he was saying was, if you put all the queers and fags behind an electric fence and they couldn't reproduce, that they would die. Well,
and they had to have the most hillbilly fucking accents.
Too. Oh, dude, she was like the definition of dumb fucking redneck. I compared her at the end of the video to Peggy Hill. Yeah, she's a straight up fucking like Peggy Hill penis. Anyway, all right. I really don't want to play any more of this guy. He basically just does the same shit over and over, and it was
that tells his little.
It was just first on the list, so we'll move on to this one. Let's see what we have.
One of the things that I found incredibly striking since doing the program, we're in like 66, 67 cities now across the country, is that no matter, because I have atheists that listen to the program. Yeah. I'm a Christian and I'm a total partisan hack.
Yeah, you know what their national holiday is.
I don't lie about it. Yeah.
April 1st. Thank you very much.
But.
Oh, it's so funny. You don't
look at him. He thinks that is like the funniest shit anybody's
like,
ever said.
Thank you very much. Fucking idiots. This is CPAC. This is like the extreme Christian side stage, I guess, where like Sarah Palin's gonna end up next year.
Oh God, damn it.
All right, this is. I mean, that was bad, but here, listen to this bitch.
I have a lot of people who call in and they understand. I mean, one of the things that Tony had said is that, if not religious liberty, then what? This is one variable in a multifaceted attempt for the government to grab individual rights. You don't have to be a Christian to be affected by loss of religious liberty. Because if one liberty is taken, more liberties will be taken. And that's what I think a lot of my listeners have really begun to understand, and they see that. I love my audience. They're some of the smartest folks out there.
Calling bullshit.
We don't even say that about our audience.
Yeah. I mean,
and I take
our patrons. Wait, our patrons, by the way, are some of the smartest people ever.
Of course.
Period. The rest of you, meh. Meh. All right. The ending is the best here, as usual.
And they really see that. They say, well, wow, if I'm not speaking up, you're losing rights. Well, then what will happen to me when the day comes and someone comes to me? What if you're stoned for walking out in the street for being gay? I mean, come on. That's the conversation that's where the conversation needs to go.
So her argument there was, don't take away religious liberty because you might get stoned if you're gay. What? What? That was your fucking line of reasoning there? That if you take away religious liberty, they'll take away other liberties, and then they'll stone gay people. Because that's not a religious thing at all. That's just what people would do if it weren't for religion holding them back, right? How fucking stupid can you be?
I gotta say, in that being CPAC, I will guarantee you that's not the dumbest thing said at CPAC.
Oh, hell no. Not even close. Not even fucking close, man. Oh, Jesus. And by the way, we do have a lot of CPAC to get through. So,
Dude, and the thing is, all the CPAC we have to get through, think about how much more we could have done.
oh yeah, I mean, it's just unlimited material. It's a year's worth of material in like 3 days that they do.
You know, we ought to do sometime, TJ. We ought to go to one of these things.
Oh, yes.
Jesus.
Wearing our goddamn shirts. They say goddamn real big on the back. Oh, people will freak the fuck out. We're going to get hit in the back of the head with like empty Budweiser cans and shit.
We'll pay one of our patrons to like come out and like video it. We'll just do like a live.
It would have to be our top
podcast.
patron. Have to be our top patron, Chris B. You're for sure. You got to be the guy. You got to come hang out with us. All right, more CPAC. Let's. Oh Jesus. Here we go.
I got my facts from the CDC day before yesterday. 110 million. 110 million Americans now have a sexually transmitted illness. 110 million? I'm looking at it and I said, I don't want you, America, to...
I was hoping he'd stop right there. I don't want you, America. You got too many of them STDs. Tell you what. Be like...
I love in like the whole clip of this that like it had nothing to do with anything being talked about up until that point that I'm aware of. They just like let him speak and he comes up there and it's like immediately like, I'm going to tell you all about sexually transmitted diseases.
For real, I would assume that guy's probably got 110 million diseases up in that beard.
Yeah.
Christ almighty. Or as some other people with beards like that would say, la 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 la. Like, this is, and you know, all these people are like, oh, tell us about how everyone's just a filthy ridden fucking whore. Yeah, tell us more about it. Oh, that gets me going. All right, this is Jesus, 3 minutes. Why would you make me play this, Drew?
Dude, play it. It gets better.
I don't want you to become ill. I don't want you to come down with a debilitating disease. I don't want you to die early. You're disease-free, and she's disease-free. You marry. You keep your sex right there. You won't get sick from a sexually transmitted disease. Come on!
All right, so let's assume that a guy and a woman get married, right? And they don't have STDs, right? And they never have sex with anyone else. But then they like share needles with other people. Well, guess what? STDs. Guess I mean, Jesus, have you not? It's like they haven't gone through a fucking high school fucking health class.
Yeah, and that's one when I even watched it. I didn't even think of that one. The other one that he says later.
Oh, no, we'll wait for it. We'll play it. You can make your point.
Okay, yeah.
Play it. Well, I want you to make your point appropriately.
There is a penalty to be paid. From what the beatniks and it morphed into the hippies. You say, what do you call the 110 million people who have sexually transmitted illnesses? It's the revenge of the hippies.
Like, if you put him next to me and said, which one's the hippie? which one? If you put either of us, all three of us next to each other, like me, Drew, and fucking Phil Robertson, who would you say is the hippie? Honestly, I mean, I don't look like a fucking hippie. You have long hair, but you don't have you don't look like a goddamn like biker trash. This guy looks like an extra off of Sons of Anarchy.
They said Drew, then Phil, then TJ.
Jesus.
Fuck you, me. This dude like hangs out in a fucking swamp all day. And he like lures in ducks by making noises of ducks having sex with each other.
His Bible has duct tape on it. That's when you know shit has gotten real.
Like, dude, they hand these things out for free. They're at the dollar stores. You can't just get a new one.
Dude,
no,
I was actually gonna buy a shitload because they do have them at the dollar store for the Bibles, and I was just gonna buy like a case of them, and then you know, I don't know, do something with them, something fun, not like burn them or anything. You got to be more creative than that.
Well, I mean, what I would do is I would give them to all my Christian friends and say, you can have this if you promise to read it. Like, damn, like
Fatality. Fatality. Finish him. Holy shit. Drew just came up with the best idea. We're just going to come up with buy a shitload of Bibles and hand them out to Christians and then say, do me a favor and actually read this.
I want us to be wearing atheist t-shirts whenever we do this. We're like, yeah, please, by all means, read this.
Not just atheist t-shirts, goddamn podcast t-shirts. Yeah. With, by the way, a barcode, which is obviously the mark of the beast. Oh, shit. Blank t-shirts is atheist t-shirts, he says. That's not a bad point. All right, let's try and finish this one off.
Yeah, we're almost over.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll have come back to haunt us in a bad way.
Is there such a thing as being haunted in a good way? They come back to haunt us in a bad way. Oh, I'm glad you clarified that. Not the good kind of haunting neither. What the fuck?
I just always expect him to say, well, tarnation.
Good call. He's like, you know how much shampoo I don't put in my beard? I save myself $30 a month just by not washing myself. It says so in the Bible.
Port, you decide. I mean, I'm reading this stuff from the CDC, and it says, how many sexual encounters does one have to catch a sexually transmitted illness? It said 1. I'm like, you know, figure out the odds on that one.
He asked the CDC, how many people do you have to have sex with in order to contract a sexually transmitted disease? And it said 1, if that person has a sexually transmitted disease. Yeah. And you catch it from them. That's all it takes is 1. And he's like, I did the math on that. Let me tell you what. It means that if you have sex with anybody, and by the way, like, who's to say that you could have, your wife could have never had vaginal sex but still have an STD through like anal or oral or all other kinds of shit. Who's to say that she's even telling the truth about being a fucking virgin or whatever? And what are you going to do? Do some kind of Muslim test on him to make sure that the hymen isn't broken? Get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit.
Yeah, but you know what he's getting at. He's getting at is that these diseases are punishment for not having biblical marriage.
Does he say that?
That's pretty much, yes. It is. That's what the point I want to get
to. Well, I
mean,
he did break out the fucking Bible in the beginning. If you watch the full clip, I was gonna read off comments because Fox News posted this on their YouTube, the full fucking 28-minute version of Phil Robertson saying all this shit, and the comments on it are fucking disgusting and sickening, and it's not trolls, it's really people that fucking believe that shit, and they really back each other up with thumbs up and shit, and if you do call them like nuts or whatever, or say that, you know, this is bullshit, or y'all are, then they're like, they call you a troll. It's absolute, it's like the backwards of what we're used to on our channels, because there is that side of fucking society, and that's the scary thing, and that's why We constantly play their arguments and address them, because I'm not just going to sit here and tell you why you should accept gay people. I'm going to show you why people hate gay people and then explain to you why they're wrong. And then from there, you should be able to develop in your own fucking mind that it's okay to be gay. It's okay to have sex before you're married and shit. I don't know what, like, I do know what world he's living in, I guess. It's a fucking very dense forest with no goddamn cable or internet. You know, that's where this motherfucker is coming from, and I don't know why anyone would want to put him on camera and fucking think that everyone wants to listen to him. Oh, I know why, because he's got a folksy fucking reality TV show, so... Yeah. Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Yeehaw, God, guns, Bible.
All right, we're done with this fucker. Yeah,
there's that bit at the very end. Well, we don't have to play it. I'll tell you, because he already alluded to what he was talking about.
No, here, it's easy enough.
I got my facts from the CDC day before yesterday.
Like towards the very end.
One woman, married.
That was it.
You want a godly, biblical, medically safe option? One man, one woman, married for life.
Okay.
And the other option, of course, is to just never have sex.
Well, yeah, they get celibacy with the other option. Okay. When I was saying that they kind of set it up to where, like, I guess God is, or these diseases are happening because you don't go by the biblical marriage or whatever like that. Okay, first off, if it's, let's say it's not man and woman in marriage. Let's say they're not getting married. You could do the same thing and just not have the state license of marriage, and you could be completely fine. You could be completely medically safe. Marriage doesn't change that. And also, it being a man and a woman, you could be a gay couple. It isn't like these things just form because God is watching two gay people have sex and therefore STDs, like he throws them down like a lightning bolt.
It's an excellent point. Excellent point. And what about like babies? If a baby is born with AIDS because his mother had AIDS or something like that, is that really a just God that you want to worship that says, oh, I'm not just going to punish you, I'm going to punish your innocent fucking child? But then again, that is the God of the fucking Bible, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing like when Pat Robertson, Jerry Falwell, and those types would just be like, okay, well, God sent that hurricane to wipe out the gays or something like that. You're talking about a completely inept God. First off, he like versus Katrina doesn't even hit the gay section of fucking like of fucking New Orleans. Doesn't even hit like that side where all the gays hung out and shit, and would have to kill all these other people in the process. Now, what's more likely? That a fucking hurricane just blew through there.
No, I can tell you, you don't even have to finish your analogy. Phil Robertson is fucking right.
Yeah. I mean, what's more likely when it comes to STDs? Is it God punishing people?
Nah. As soon as he said hippies, I was like, I'm on this guy's side. Like, fucking beatniks and hippies. Because beatniks and hippies are things that his crowd is aware of. They're like, I was conservative back even when there was hippies. And that's like, I was around for Woodstock. I was 40 at Woodstock. That's his fucking crowd. Jesus Christ.
I was 40 at Woodstock.
You know what I mean? Like, when Woodstock happened, I was 40 years old. Now I'm fucking here listening to Phil Robertson at CPAC for fucking $1,000 a seat because I'm a complete fucking moron. That's pretty much what you're dealing with. All right, and is there more after that, or can we move the fuck on from this dumbass? We're not going to move on from dumbasses in general, just from that one in general. All right, we have a possible Republican presidential candidate that is going to explain to us his in-depth how he's really going to take care of ISIS for us in like 1 minute. So,
great.
Enjoy.
On ISIS, nobody, if I decide to run and win, nobody would be tougher than Donald Trump. Nobody. I would hit them so hard and so fast that they wouldn't know what happened. I would find a general. Remember the old days of General MacArthur and General Patton and these great generals. Now, we must have somebody in there. But I laugh as I say, and it's laugh through tears, as you say, look, they're announcing when they're going to attack the other side. How often do you see that? In 2 weeks from now, we're sending soldiers over here, we're going to attack this. General MacArthur is spinning in his grave when he sees what we do. So you got to hit him hard, you got to hit him firm, and you can't play games. You got to go hard and fast and firm.
Hit it hard, fast, and firm, TJ. Don't play no games.
Can't play any games. Now, see, here's the 3-step process for defeating ISIS, all right? First, you go in hard, all right? Then you fix your toupee a little, and then you go in firm, all right? And then you adjust your toupee a little, and then you go in, fast. You just go in, you kick their asses, all right? That's what you do. And you don't give them a heads up like, I'm going to be here in 2 weeks or some shit, because when Obama does shit behind everyone's back, I'm totally cool with that. If he just sent in ground troops and didn't fucking, ask anybody or give a heads up, Donald Trump, would be fine with that. I wouldn't call him, a bad president if he did that. But if, let's say, he asked for permission from everybody, since that's what we force him to do, then, fix my toupee and hard and firm and fast. That's the way I like it.
Jesus, that is my new favorite TJ accent. Fucking New York, straight out of New York.
Yeah, it was.
I'll break your friggin' arm, that kind of thing.
Give me your goddamn money, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God!
I got the just follow me through this alley. I'm gonna take you to the best cup of coffee in New York. Just follow me through this dark small alley real quick. It's right behind this dumpster.
You're crazy good at that.
Oh God! So hard, firm, and fast is the way Trump likes it, obviously.
Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. I mean, shouldn't you know that your party is ran by fucking money when Donald Trump is a contender?
I think we're getting a little too serious. Let's lighten it up with a good joke. All right? All right, here's a good joke.
We don't need just someone with a strong economic plan. Thanks to the Obama-Clinton foreign policy team, we have gone from a policy of peace through strength to a policy of lead from behind, and it has been disastrous for the American people and for the world. In fact, the president's popularity is so bad around the world today that I heard this report from a source that the Kenyan government is actually developing proof that Barack Obama was actually born in America.
It's the funny part is his fucking delivery and how bad the joke is. It's funny to laugh at him, not with him at all.
It's Rick Santorum.
Did he just do a fucking birther joke? Did
That's
you just
CPAC,
do look at the look on his face, nailed it. Nailed it.
They all do. They always have that look. Oh my God.
Oh my God, you complete fucking idiot. Did you guys know that Santorum is that bubbly froth that you get when semen and anal lube are mixed together? Did you know that?
I had no idea, man. You call that Santorum?
They should totally make that clip a Thug Life. A Thug Life clip and post it to fucking World Star Hip Hop.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. So bad. Oh, he nailed it. Oh, God. All right, got it. Oh, that face is so fucking epic. All right.
Is somebody gonna make a? Did you freeze frame it real quick?
Better do it real
somebody
fast.
Gonna make some funny shit out of that.
Oh shit! All right. Here's one. Again, of our favorite, along with another of our favorites. So this is a twofer. Enjoy. And the stupidity is a 10-fer.
We have not fought in the public square for freedom of for our religious values to be allowed out there, just like theirs are. And it's really interesting, Brian. I'm sure you've talked about this. The idea that if you take religion out of the public square, if you take the Bible out of the classroom, that's neutral. Well, no, it's not neutral. It's a different worldview. You can call it, I think we should start calling secularism a religion, because if we did, then we could ban that too. Because
Okay.
That like on no level makes any sense. Go ahead.
Not only that, but I mean, it falls in line with why they always want to call atheism a religion. Because they're like, oh, if we do that, then we can put them on the same level. Because when they don't have to believe in all this dogma and bullshit, it puts them like at a higher level, and it makes us look like shit. So if we can just put them on the same level by calling them a religion, and it's the same thing he's doing with secularism now. But he's like, by saying there's no religion or equality of religion all the way around, that's a religion. So equality is a religion just so you can ban it. Pretty much. I want to ban equality, so call it a religion, and then we can ban it like we ban everything else, and then I can sneak my shit in the way I like to. This slimy piece of shit fuck.
Yeah. I'm wondering how he could possibly argue that taking the Bible out isn't secularism.
All right. And I know in this freeze frame, Santorum is just a picture, and he's got that shit look on his face all the time. But look at the look on Brian Fisher's face. Like, nailed it.
Does it remind you of that one part of that Ted Nugent interview we did? The dude in the background was like, got him.
Yeah, got him. Like, Jesus. Like, that look, that smug motherfucking stupid face. And he really thinks he's got this shit like, oh, lockdown. I've been saying this stupid shit for years, Rick. I'm so glad to hear it coming from your mouth. Get the fuck out of here. And this video's got like another 30 seconds, unfortunately.
that said, that's what they've done. They've hidden behind the fact that the absence of religion is not a religion of itself, which in fact it is, because it has certain moral values and certain teachings that look like a religious, a type of moral worldview.
No, Rick, no.
How? Tell me the moral tenets of non-religion. Tell me, and then tell me where they're written down and where the fuck you got your shit, your information and your sources. I am mind blown that you can be this stupid. You can't. But then again, I give people too much credit. I'm like, you can't be that stupid, but people are. Constantly, all the time, and dumb enough to elect this motherfucker, dumb enough to put Brian Fisher on fucking TV. He's got a better fucking setup than we do. You know what I mean? And probably a larger audience, unfortunately. So please do like us on Facebook and shit. Grow that audience, because as long as Brian Fisher's got a larger audience than we do, we're not doing our fucking job right.
Yeah, we have to balance this shit out.
At least try and fucking give a small antidote to all this fucking venom. It is absolutely fucking ridiculous that these people are given a fucking platform, much less a platform which can influence the goddamn way that the rest of us have to live our lives.
It's amazing the shit that they'll come up with to try to justify these kinds of things. It reminds me of Bill O'Reilly telling David Silverman that Christianity was a philosophy.
Oh God,
it's not a religion.
No, that was after he said that you don't know how the tides work, and he still fucking has a show and an audience. And I was gonna do like an in-depth bit on Bill O'Reilly's lying recently, but it's a lot to cover, and
it's so much.
It's so in depth, and I might do a video on it or something. But everyone else that I've watched so far that covered it has done a really good job, and I don't know, man. I'm so pressed for time. I would love to do it, but I don't know I could do it justice. The amount of lying he's done requires like a serious video. Yeah. And I don't know if I have the time to do it. Maybe I'll work on it. But by the time I release it or whatever in like a month or whatever, it'll probably be irrelevant, and I'll have wasted all my fucking time. So
one of the memes I saw about Bill O'Reilly, dude, it was so fucking funny. So it's him doing that face, and he's so cocky, he's got his hands up, right? And it just says like, so there I am on a cross next to Jesus. Oh my God, I almost died, man.
Very nice. All right, let's try and finish this shit off.
So what we have to start doing as Christians is reassert ourselves and saying, you know what? The freedom of religion is not the freedom from religion. We should be in the public square. We should be taught in the schools. This should be an open marketplace of ideas instead of throttling one particular perspective under the name of being offensive to some people.
All right, so he literally dismisses his own argument right after he makes it.
Exactly.
He says we should be forcing and pushing public Christianity in the public square, and then we should not just be going after one particular thing. Like, do you not realize who out there is listening to this and being like, he's just going against his previous argument with every next fucking sentence. Every fucking sentence that he says after the one he just said before doesn't match. It doesn't fucking mix up at all. Total clash. And who in the fuck out there is listening, nodding their heads? I mean, are there that many stroke victims out there with access to the fucking internet or their radio or whatever the fuck it is that they're broadcasting on and can get to the fucking vote, like a place to vote? Are there that many stroke victims? Ben Carson victims.
Expanding his business.
Exactly, Jesus. It's fucking scary.
Lobotomized.
God damn, that's fucking stupid.
And how could you possibly, at this point, dude, especially these people that have to have heard this debate before, how could you possibly be at this point where you don't understand the hypocrisy when you're saying all this is okay for Christians, but it's not okay for any other fucking religion? If this was people trying to put Islam in schools and shit like that, fuck no, fuck it.
It's you remember when they were like, oh, you can pass out Bibles, then we're going to pass out or Christian coloring books, so then we'll do satanic coloring books. Next thing you know, the Christians are like, no, and that's what he's talking about, basically. He's like, we should only be forcing Christianity, but we, at the same time, not just force secularism.
No.
Because that forcing one thing is the same, but not in my argument somehow. My name is Rick fucking Anal Sex Bubbles. All right, let's do a couple more, and then we're going to take another break. I got to take a piss. Here's some tough questions from CPAC. Enjoy these.
How do you plan to restore the American dream and make us feel more united and less divided? Your answers are so succinct and concise, and we appreciate that. Okay, so the last question is, how do you plan to bring your message to the minority community and make them feel more included? And also, how do you plan on making them feel inclusive?
I think the key is to tell them the truth.
What is your biggest criticism of President Obama?
Look, this has been a rough couple of months for you in the media. We have read articles about how you came in as a reformer, and now some of these reforms haven't panned out. I mean, you just got, I think Gail Collins, who's a liberal columnist, she just savaged you today and said that you're toast, your campaign's over, you're not a reformer. How do you survive this onslaught day in and day out?
I can tell you his response. I know they didn't show it, but he actually said, did you say toast?
Jesus.
Did somebody say toast?
He started breathing heavy like a fucking monster or some shit.
These are the tough questions that get asked at the CPAC fucking members.
Jesus. I mean, when they play hard.
They play hard. This last one's the best.
Why does Ted Cruz love America?
This country is the greatest country in the history of the world.
I would be so pissed off if I was sitting in the audience and one asshole asks another asshole that question, and then the asshole getting asked the question responds like that. That is so insulting to your intelligence.
Ted Cruz just comes off as the slimiest piece of shit ever.
That's what gets me. Is like, how can you not see that? He oozes fake, dude. That dude is so fucking fake, and he's a dumbass. What the fuck?
That's what people love, apparently. Apparently, like, half of the voting population is in favor of that shit. At least.
I mean,
they voted for him. They put him in the fucking...
It's like not even under the surface at all. Like, dude, like, where's it? Like, It's so obvious. Dude, like so many of them, like Palin, it is so obvious she's an idiot. It's
What about
so
like
obvious.
Mitch McConnell? Like he's such a like devious, sidestepping piece of slimy shit, and he's got like, God, he's got more chins than he does brains, and he keeps getting reelected. That's the stupid that we have to fucking like deal with on a daily. And they have the money to put all this together. They made money on this CPAC shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that it's even on C-SPAN and not Comedy Central.
Even if you were like hardcore gung ho conservative, all this shit, okay, whatever. But if you cannot see that those people are fake, you're a fucking idiot.
All
You're
right,
an idiot if you cannot see that these people are fake.
Complete. I mean, I put on a somewhat of a persona when I'm doing live shows or videos or whatever, and it's because I've built this up. I've gotten used to it, and I like right before the show, I'm not Coctopus. I'm just TJ or whatever, and I try and be more TJ for these shows and whatever, and then Coctopus. But I mean, it's my personality on camera when I feel like I can just speak my mind. I'll say what, because I don't think I have anything to lose, and if I am wrong about something, the worst I'm going to get is to learn something.
Yeah.
And maybe be able to change my fucking opinion and correct my incorrectness. I mean, that's what I'm out for. I'm not out to just like back up what I already fucking believe over and over and over and over and over like these other motherfuckers are. They just want to hear what they want to fucking hear with from different people who claim to have different arguments that are the same bullshit we've heard over and over. The same arguments made for segregation are now made for fucking gay rights and shit. And
Yeah.
I'm honest enough to say I don't care. I personally don't find other men's assholes to be like, all right, that's not, now if it's a woman's asshole, I might be interested. I'm into a little bit of that butt play, if it's a freaky drunk night or whatever, but not on me, on her, whatever. Ass to mouth is okay if the time is right, as you should know if you watch Clerks 2.
Clerks 2, yeah.
All right, but there are times and places and da-da-da-da, but I don't need these motherfuckers telling me what the fuck to do with my life. Get the fuck out of here. All right, we got one more quick one. This is Scott Walker explaining how he can beat ISIS since he beat down all these union protesters that were fighting for their workers' rights here in America.
Governor Walker, Ned Ryan, American Majority, board member of the American Conservative Union. Would like to know, should you become commander-in-chief, how would you deal with threats such as ISIS?
Well,
I want you to keep in mind this guy introduced himself as chairman of the board of the American, what was it? Hold on, we'll play it one more time because it's important. I'm sorry, I want to get it right.
Majority, board member of the American Conservative Union.
Board member of the American Conservative Union. Okay? So he's admitting to being a part of a conservative union. And then listen to this response.
Would like to know, should you become commander-in-chief, how would you deal with threats such as ISIS?
Well, the interesting thing, sometimes people in the media don't understand that as a governor, I actually get a threat assessment from the FBI and from my adjutant general. And without divulging confidential information, I would tell you for years I've been concerned about that threat, not just abroad, but here in American soil. You've already seen some of the reported stories about what we see in the Twin Cities and some of the issues there. I think it is clear. I think of my two sons, one of whom's with me today, the other will be here over the weekend, Matt and Alex, who are 19 and 20, and I know all of you as parents feel the same way. I want a commander-in-chief who will do everything in their power to ensure that the threat from radical Islamic terrorists do not wash up in American soil. We will have someone who leads and ultimately will send a message not only that we will protect American soil, but do not take this upon freedom-loving people anywhere else in the world. We need a leader with that kind of confidence.
I would like to point out he just made the point that he had 2 kids that were of military age and then said that he wanted the president to do everything in his power. So that would include, I guess, drafting your children and sending them to fucking war, right? That would include the president doing everything in his power to get at those Muslims, those extremists, is draft your 2 fucking kids and send them over there, right, douchebag? But here at the very end is where he makes the point where you can't really tell, but this is Scott Walker. He busted all these fucking unions and went up against all these protesters and shit to bust all these unions, and he's so proud of it that he's going to say that that's what gives him qualifications to take on ISIS.
If I can take on 100,000 protesters, I can do the same across the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't fucking make it up if you tried.
Jesus, I told
proud,
you guys.
so proud. And these are middle-class Americans that he's talking about. That you're not in a union if you're like super rich or super poor. Usually it's middle-class fucking Americans that are in unions. And he's like, if I can fuck with middle-class Americans, then I can fuck with them ISIS Muslims. How about you go fuck yourself, douchebag?
Jesus, I called it when I said that lady wasn't saying the stupidest shit at CPAC.
No, it's all over the fucking place. It's a nonstop stream of bullshit. So, next, we have a genius argument against climate change.
Oh.
Mr. President, I'm reminiscent with the snow on the ground of 5 years ago. The occupier of the chair, I say, Mr. President, was not here at that time, and so you don't have the advantage of knowing the story that's behind this. And the story that's behind this that's back when they first started all the hysteria on global warming. And it happened to be a snowstorm that had been unprecedented. It set a record that year. And there's a charming family of 6, I say to my friend in the chair, that built this, and their picture is here. And that happens to be my daughter and her family of 6. And at that time, it got a lot of attention. Actually, it got a lot of national attention. And in case we have forgotten, because we keep hearing that 2014 has been the warmest year on record, I asked the chair, you know what this is? It's a snowball. And that's just from outside here. So it's very, very cold out, very unseasonal. So here, Mr. President, catch this. Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It has to scare you that our leaders are this fucking stupid. Elected officials.
He's like, there's snow, therefore global warming is a hoax.
They had a great meme on this one as well. It's that same picture, except he's holding a cheeseburger. And it says, I have a cheeseburger, therefore world hunger is a hoax.
Yep, there you go. It's pretty much the same fucking thing. I mean, this guy is an idiot, therefore there is no smart politicians.
God damn it.
Period. I mean, this is the same arguments being made. It's absolute bullshit. But yeah, I just wanted to play that real quick before we moved on to this thug life that I promised.
Сейчас бы танком переехали. Смотри, Алена, там.
Smoking and riding, smoking and riding.
Yeah. I left my love in San Francisco with Tim.
Selfie. Bet you out of the way.
What's she saying?
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. Oh, bitch.
What do you? There's no chance putting it.
Why? He's hit a good putt.
There's no
Want me to
chance.
show you how to putt it?
You can't. There you go. Yeah, show me how to do it.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangster ass nigga plays his cards right. A real gangster ass nigga never runs his fucking mouth. Cause real gangster ass niggas don't start fights. And niggas always got a high cap. Showing all his boys how we shot him. But real gangsta ass niggas don't flex nuts. Cause real gangsta ass niggas know they got it.
Every hood's the same.
Every hood's the same. Come on. They give us guns and drugs. Then wonder why in the fuck we thug. Ride around town with about 100 niggas. When you see me come around, don't try to run up on a nigga. I fucked your bitch, nigga. I fucked your bitch. Real goods get down on the floor, on the floor. Real goods get down on the floor, on the floor.
Say, holy cow.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
Holy shit.
Things just ain't the same for gangsters. Times are changing. Young niggas is aging.
Come on.
He's got his fucking indicator on.
It's time to skate, but I don't know where the fuck I'm headed. Up or down, right or left, life or death.
Shut the fuck up.
Go ahead. Welcome to the Salty Spittoon. How tough are you?
How tough am I? How tough am I? I had a bowl of milk for breakfast this morning.
Right this way. Sorry to keep you waiting. How tough are you?
How tough am I?
You take some fuck, then some shit, then some fuck, then some shit. You got a fuck shit stack, a fuck shit stack. Take some fuck, then some shit, then some fuck, then some shit. You got a fuck shit stack, a fuck shit stack. It's a stack of fuck shit on top of itself, nigga.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty. 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 My music's so loud, I'm swinging. They hoping that they gon' catch me riding dirty.
Yeah, that gangsta shit. Yeah, that gangsta shit.
Sir? You guys really don't want to have service with him because, one, he's going to mess up your order, and two...
It's not my fault you guys didn't order your pizza right. Get the fuck out of here.
Excuse me, sir. I want your supervisor's phone number and your supervisor's name.
Okay. My supervisor's name is go fuck yourself. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey kids, if you have diabetes, I feel bad for you. So eat some fucking Pringles, you fucking faggots.
Yeah, niggas was having sex with the same sex. I show no love to homo thugs. Empty out, reload, and throw more slugs. How you gonna explain fucking a man?
Oh shit, classic. All right, some of those were the kid doing the fucking drifting in the wheelchair.
That's so fucked up.
Oh fuck, find a slippery restaurant and go drifting. Oh shit. All right, how about this one seems to be very educational, and I think it's people, time people in our audience learned a little something, so here we go.
Yeah.
Everything comes from somewhere. Everything has a beginning. Sometimes to understand what something means now, we need to find out what it meant then. It's called the osculum infame. That's the name of the witch's ritual greeting upon meeting the devil. The name means the shameful kiss, or the kiss of shame, since it involved kissing the devil's anus. According to folklore, it was this kiss that allowed the devil to seduce women. During the years of the witch hunts, many believed that the witches worshipped the devil and paid him homage by kissing his anus. The osculum infame was mentioned in nearly every single recorded account of a witch's sabbat and in confessions. According to the allegations, witches would give the kiss of shame at the beginning of the sabbat, after the devil had read the names of his followers. They would approach him by crawling or walking backwards, turn, bow, and kiss his anus. It was believed that this kiss was required for a new witch to be initiated, and the kiss was followed by feasting. Generally
Feasting on what?
That's what I was just about to ask.
After you kiss the anus, exactly what is it that you feast on? Oh boy. But that's a good freeze frame. That's about the face I have underneath these glasses right now.
Is that a woman?
Yeah. I think it's your mom, isn't it?
Considered to be an act of homage or respect, the North Berwick witch trials of Scotland of the 16th century held that the kiss was an act of penance issued from the devil. So it's interesting to note that this very well...
Okay, that's a strap-on ass, in case anyone is wondering. That girl is fully...
Well, how could you wonder? Who doesn't own
because
a
some
strap-on
people
ass?
might think she's pulling like the back of her shorts open or something like that, and they're stupid and don't realize that that's someone fully clothed with a strap-on ass that someone else is kissing, and it's obviously satanic. These cheerleaders are obviously like, they're like, give me an S, give me an A, give me a T, give me an A, give me an N. What does it spell? Satan! Woo!
Is that the connection that's being made here? Is it really?
Yeah.
May be the origin of the term kiss my...
I didn't do that. That was not my
Oh
cut.
my
That was
God.
his cut.
He's serious.
Reported in the news from Scotland back in 1592 by author W. Wright. He says, "And seeing that they tarried over long, he at their coming enjoined them all to a penance, which was, that they should kiss his buttocks in sign of duty to him, which being put over the pulpit bare, everyone did as he enjoyed them."
I like how he showed that text for like 3 seconds. Like there's any way you were going to read that whole fucking paragraph in 3 seconds while you listen to the fucking audio.
But then again, TJ, if you're somebody that watches these types of videos, you're not going to read.
Is this a wrestling? This guy's
Yes.
got to be a troll. That's wrestling. There's no way this guy's not a troll. Okay, I'm done. No more of that video. Fuck it. Done. Oh,
But
my
the thing
God.
is, I don't know necessarily that he's a troll, man. I mean, dude, it's the internet. It's full of all kinds of fucking dumb shit. You know this.
Take this for example.
You know, David Lane, who runs the American Renewal Project, which is loosely connected to the American Family Association, he is also involved in that effort to encourage pastors to run for public office. In fact, his goal, I think, is by 2016 to have 1,000 pastors throw their hat in the ring and run for public office. And, you know, one of the points I've made frequently, Jim, is if you look at Romans chapter 13, where Paul is talking about civil authority, which is God's idea. So government is not bad. Government is good as long as it does what God has designed it to do and exercises the authority that God has delegated to it and no more. But it's...
So government is good as long as it's not the American government, pretty much. Pretty fucking
Well,
much is what this dumb fuck just said.
Yeah, I guess he kind of covered his bases here when he said God and not Jesus. Because the American government and Jesus are like...
Well, I mean, it does mention the creator, but that's because they wrote the shit before, like, Darwin ever came up with a theory, and people were of that mindset.
Yeah, deistic type.
Yeah, I mean, so what? So the fuck what, man? But it's okay to do it as long as it follows what I think it should do. Then government's all right. Everything else government does, it shouldn't do. because I don't fucking agree with it religiously. And like I covered in the last Cooter report, it violates my moral conscience. Then don't be in the fucking government, bitch.
Yeah.
That's pretty much that simple. If you want to be in the government, you can't use your religion as an excuse for any fucking thing.
Yep.
Unless it's being infringed upon, and I mean really infringed upon, not bullshit infringed upon.
Actual persecution.
Like that fucking Hobby Lobby bullshit where they're like, we don't want to have to give them fucking like any kind of health care when it comes to birth control. That's bullshit. Complete bullshit. And we've let religion like just take the reins with this kind of shit. And we have laws in all these states that allow people to not treat their fucking children that are sick because it's against their religion or whatever. And then they can get away with it with a religious exemption after the kid dies. It's not fucking negligent homicide or anything like that. It's fucking like, oh, it's scapegoat, you know. Oh, well, God just wanted to be with God, I guess. Well, derp, okay. Like that. And then you go arrest people for marijuana and you call that a fucking justice system? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that was one of them. Wasn't it one of these people at one of these events or whatever was saying that about how if I decide that God wants my child to die, then that's it was one of those deals. It was about the not getting them their kids treatment.
There was a recent
like, hey,
one.
He's sick. If I feel I want that God wants my child to die, who am I to stop my child from dying?
I believe it was a representative from Iowa. Female that recently said like, well, if people want to, you know, believe their religious stuff, it's okay. And what's so wrong with letting your child go be with God? That was her fucking argument. Yeah, and that was recent. And I was gonna cover that, but
I'm trying to remember who it was.
I don't believe there was an actual video clip of it. I believe it was all just like taken down as text or something. I had a hard time finding it. Anyway, but yeah, complete fucking idiot. I'm sure somebody will say something. Edible anus. That's what we got from the chat. Anyway,
the depth that we're going with our chat.
The woman was completely fucking idiotic. She was, I think it was Iowa. It might have been Idaho. Any one of them fucking I states. And
can't trust them.
And she's just saying basically, oh, they should be able to get away with this complete bullshit and putting your religion first. And that's the same argument that was made by the Alabama judge that and Brian Fisher here, that you're violating their conscience by making them, accept laws that they don't agree with biblically. Well, then that would mean only biblical law means anything, you dipshit. And that's not the way our fucking justice system works. And then these are the same people who are against Sharia law and think Sharia law is terrible. And then they turn around and try and instate biblical fucking law.
Absolutely.
In a fucking country meant to be secular. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously. They're all like, if you don't like it, you can leave. Well, if you don't like it, you can leave. This is not a fucking Christian country. And if you want to go live in a Christian country, there are plenty of them in the fucking Middle East. They're not doing so hot.
Yeah, to tell us that is just ridiculous, dude. You're the one wanting a fucking theocracy. There are those out there. By all means, take your pick. Go live in fucking Iran or Saudi Arabia or some shit. Have at it.
Yep. But can't put two and two together.
I need another beer.
So do I, but I'm out. I'm drinking wine.
Oh, nice. What kind you got? Merlot? Not very good, huh?
No, it took too big of a hit.
This is what that Fox analyst was talking about.
That's what it says, Vin Blanc.
Oh, you got white wine.
Yeah, I'm not. It was whatever was in the fridge. It wasn't like I shopped for this. I was just like, I need more alcohol to deal with this bullshit. All right.
Yeah, I was trying to explain during one of our breaks to everybody here in the chat the amount of alcohol it takes for us to entertain them.
Oh yeah,
they have no idea what we're doing.
It's not cheap.
Health.
We're still spending money. We look. Somebody put up the goddamn the Patreon. Thank you, Monkey Fudge. Look, I need you guys to consider becoming patrons. Now, I'm not advocating that you sneak into your mom's purse and grab her Visa and write down the pertinent numbers. You're gonna need the CCV code on the back. By the way, it's a 3-digit.
Flip it over.
All right, but I'm not saying to do that. But If you could do that for, she probably wouldn't even notice if you only made it $5 or whatever. She'd be like, oh, there's a new charge on the credit card or whatever. But I'm not advocating you do that. I'm not saying do that. Of course, I advocate that you go get a job at Walmart and then send us your paycheck directly. Just endorse it and send it to us. All right? We're going to fix all your problems. Just take it. Just trust us.
The money we could make if we didn't have a conscience, TJ. Well, actually, it almost sounds like you don't, but I kind of do. I start feeling good, man.
I still have the offer up. First $200K, and I turn into a Christian, real fast. And I mean, not just a regular Christian, like a extra stupid one, like a Ray Comfort mixed with Brian Fisher mixed with fucking like George Bush, like kind of stupid.
It's a lot of dumbass.
I know, and I could do it though for $200K.
For $200K, it's not even like a super huge amount you could live off of.
It's enough. It's enough that I could act like a dumbass like full time.
God damn it.
Yeah, $200K. I'd do about anything. Maybe we should make that an option, like the top payment, $200,000. We'll only have 10 available though.
Only 10. Huh?
We should set a limit of like 10,000. That would be hilarious. We should play jokes with Patreon. Anyway, Patreon, that it is for real, and we really do appreciate it, and we do try and cover our patrons' requests, and we do send out cool shit like the goddamn t-shirts, the back. I love the back. Goddamn. The glasses, all that shit comes along with it. So there are cool rewards. And if we hit a certain goal, we're going to have to figure a day to do a extra show each month. Just for you fuckers.
Yep.
Just for the patrons. But you got to pay us. Because we have limited time. Drew obviously spends 22 hours out of the day combing his hair. Those lovely locks.
Yeah, well, I got to look good for the show.
So, yeah. And he needs his hair products, so he needs that money. All right, here's a fun one. We were just talking about pot. Oh, actually, you know what? That one's not quite... Let's finish this one off.
A good thing. And 3 times in Romans 13, when Paul is talking about civil government, he uses either the word minister or servant of God. Twice he calls them ministers of God. Third time he calls them servants of God. So, I mean, those are sacred terms that he's using. So he's saying, look, somebody who exercises political office, that's as much of a sacred office as the guy that stands in the pulpit and opens the Word of God. And it's time we get back to some understanding of that.
Oh. See, I quoted this part of the Bible, and it's time we all understood that. And the government went in that direction. He looks mentally beat down, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He looks...
Look at what he does for a living.
It's got to be so harsh to deal, like to try and convince yourself of this shit on a daily basis, like to do those, because it takes you're constantly doing gymnastics and backflips and jumping through all those little loopholes in logic that you can find, and sticking with your old outdated arguments that have been debunked over and over and over and over and over, and talking with the same kind of morons, and it has eventually got to beat you down, and you end up looking like Brian fucking Fisher. What's the guy from Star Wars? Emperor Palpatine?
The Emperor?
The Emperor, man. That's what exactly. Put a cloak on that fucker, and that is him. Is it not?
It is.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Let the derp flow through you.
Let the derp throw through you. Feel the power of the derp.
That's exactly right. I had the privilege of sitting in on David Lane's first meeting to train, that goal to train 1,000 pastors. It was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, just a few days ago. And in fact, James Lankford, Senator James Lankford, was one of the speakers there. It was an exceptional conference. But you're exactly right. In Romans, that word in the original language is diakonos. Diakonos means the minister of God. Now, what's intriguing is if you live in a constitutional republic or a democracy, as we do, that means it behooves us as followers of Christ to make sure our government functions for the purpose for which it was created, specifically to be the minister of God.
Okay, if we live in a constitutional republic and it is secular, then no, The role of it is not to do the will of fucking God.
The ministering of your religion. It seems like how can they be so fucking off base? But I guess when you start with a conclusion and then try and make everything fit, this is what it fucking looks like.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I mean, I think that kind of covers like all the videos we do involving conservatives.
All over America, marijuana is becoming more legal in different states, and you can go anywhere in this nation and buy alcohol, and there's a tax on this and a revenue that can be used for the good of whatever tax money goes for. And if we legalize marijuana in Wisconsin, not just for recreational use, but for medicinal use, wouldn't that be a benefit for the state?
Okay, we'll have them address that issue.
And
yeah,
let there be rules and laws. You can't drive anywhere after having too many beers or whatever it is you drink. And that being said, on that same token, couldn't there be, or shouldn't there also be laws where if you've had too much to smoke, for example, you can't drive?
Steve, we're going to tackle that issue. Legalizing marijuana.
Hold on. All right. I'm going to make a prediction here. Okay. Because the caller just made that's a fair
awesome
case.
point for like a lady that was having a hard time stringing it together. She was probably pretty high, but she strung together a fucking very, poignant argument, one that's hard to just refute with like something stupid. But your guess is what?
My guess is they are going to just completely blow and just say some other stupid shit that's just going to be like what they would normally say. I wanted to just point out that she made a very good opening. I just got a prediction that they're not buying it. That's pretty much what I'm saying.
I haven't watched this one all the way through, and I don't know what she's going to say, but I'm going to guess it's going to go along the lines of it does more harm than it does good.
Or they might do the Reagan thing of like, well, just because alcohol's bad don't mean we need two bad things.
Yeah, that kind of going along that lines. All right, let's see who's right here.
On a national basis here.
Well, I
mean,
think
the source of revenue he's talking about.
Right, there's some people, their whole goal is to get more money for the government. That's not my major goal, so I disagree with your caller on that. But one thing that kind of struck me, first of all, being in Washington, I get to talk to congressmen from states in which marijuana is much more legal than here, Washington, Colorado. They do not think it's working out very well.
What? I just read a story that in Colorado they're bringing in so much revenue from marijuana that they don't know what to do with all the extra money, and they're going to have to send checks to everybody.
Yep.
Because
they have to give them money back.
It's in the written in the laws or whatever that they can't hold on to an excess of what they need to run the fucking city or whatever, and so they're going to have to, obviously you probably get a check for like $1.75. But they're gonna mail out checks because they can't hold on to all that extra money that they're bringing in from taxing marijuana. And obviously the crimes have not gone up because people who smoke pot, like there are people who commit crimes and smoke pot, but it's not because they smoke pot. It's like there are people who run dictatorships, but it's not because they're atheists. Yeah. You understand? They're atheists and they're bad people, and then they run dictatorships. It's not because of their atheism, and it's not because someone smokes pot that they go and commit a fucking crime. They're just a criminal who happens to smoke fucking pot, because a lot of fucking people smoke pot.
Yeah, it's almost like that mustache argument. Okay, well, some of these people that did these horrible things, they happen to have mustaches.
Therefore,
they didn't do the horrible things because they had mustaches.
No, they definitely did, Drew. You're not paying close enough attention, obviously.
That's why I don't have one. That's why you don't have one.
Exactly. Well,
that's why we're moral individuals.
Exactly.
Fuck a mustache.
This in no way inflicts the way we view our patrons with mustaches.
And finally, a lot has been written about the income gap in our country and how the poor people aren't making enough money or saving enough money. I want to ask your caller, assuming one of the goals we have in this country is to help people make more money, be part of the American dream. If we legalize marijuana across the board, what effect does he think that's going to have on people? Is that going to cause the underclass or whatever to improve more, or is it going to create even a larger segment of Americans who's not achieving their full full possibility and falling behind. And I think if you want to make sure that all Americans are participating in the American dream, all Americans are having a good job where someday they're going to be able to afford to take care of kids, buy a house, I do not think legalizing marijuana is a way to work towards that.
Yeah.
goal.
If you want to build a strong family.
I was kind of right.
So was I, though.
Yeah, you are. I thought they were going to make a more specific case about relating alcohol to all that. But yeah, we still called it though.
Yeah, I mean the idea that like he's like, well, I'm really looking out for the lower class people, because if we legalize it, they're obviously already smoking it, and keeping it illegal just means when they get caught smoking it, they go to jail. But legalizing it would hurt them because it's already actually, people are already doing the shit. They don't need it to be legal to fucking be smoking the weed. So what I don't know what your idea is that like look, if they made heroin legal tomorrow, it doesn't mean I'm gonna go get fucking heroin just because it's legal. Cigarettes are legal and not everyone smokes. Alcohol is legal and not everyone drinks. Because you give someone the option to do it doesn't mean that everyone is gonna fucking do it, and it's gonna lead to the detriment of society, which is the fucking terrible fucking argument this guy is trying to fucking make. And somehow he's dressed in a fucking three-piece suit, and I'm wearing a goddamn t-shirt.
Goddamn podcast t-shirt.
Well, okay.
And a damn nice one.
So technically it's nicer than his three-piece suit, but the point is this guy's got fucking money flowing in from talking out of his asshole while we're sitting here trying to decipher the fucking basic truth about things, the basic facts, trying to be honest about shit, but we don't get paid. What we need is someone that lies. Well, we do get paid, we just don't get paid nearly as much.
Damn it, I just completely forgot what I was going to say. Must be short-term memory loss.
Oh yeah, and he doesn't even smoke weed.
Yeah, I don't even smoke weed. What it is a contact buzz. As soon as I do a show with TJ,
catches it through that goddamn internet. Fuck you, Al Gore. All right, let's get on with it. Here we go.
Anything the Bible says is right. There's a scientific basis for it now. It's fun to be able to show that. So these guys.
You want to say something?
It's just another one of those funny things. You sipping that wine out of that little bowl.
Oh.
No, it's another one of those funny things. It's like, dude, all they have to do is like talk for like 5 seconds. Everything he just said right there, we could go on that for hours. Is just what I was going to say.
Oh yeah. Here, we'll start from the beginning because we're only 7 seconds in. He's already said so much stupid. Here we go.
Anything the Bible says is right. There's a scientific basis for it now. It's fun to be able to show that. So these guys, homosexuals, I'll say guys, I'm from Texas, that's guys and girls. Everybody's guys in Texas. So these guys, homosexuals, lesbians.
Is everybody guys in Texas, Drew?
They're all guys.
I mean, I say you guys when I'm talking to a group of people, whether they're guys or girls or whatever.
Yeah, that's
but I mean, he wanted to make sure that you understood when he said guys, he wasn't talking about just the man here in Texas, the queers.
Yeah.
Steers and queers, I don't see no horns on you, boy.
They want age stopped. You saw the prevalence, 60 times higher than general population, et cetera. And what they're looking for is a vaccine. So the federal government in the last several years has spent tens of billions of dollars looking for a vaccine for AIDS, HIV/AIDS. And I don't think they will ever find a vaccine for HIV/AIDS. And I say that based on a particular Bible verse. If you look at what Romans 1:27 says, this is what the scripture says. It says, men, leaving natural relations with a woman, lusted toward each other and did that which is wrong, receiving in their bodies the penalties due them. Now notice this, homosexuals receive in their bodies the penalty due them. The Bible says if you engage in homosexuality, your body will do things that will penalize you. So if you can have a vaccine for AIDS, then you're keeping your body from penalizing you. I don't think they'll ever find a vaccine for AIDS.
Well, you're a fucking idiot.
It's because only gay people get AIDS, obviously.
Exactly. We just talked about this. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, how stupid are these motherfuckers? And the worst part is that they have a fucking audience. This guy's given a fucking giant platform for this shit. He's constantly brought on to like Glenn Beck shows. He's one of the idiots that predicted that Romney was going to win huge in the fucking election.
God ain't gonna let that nigger win twice. I'll tell you that.
Jesus Christ. Oh, it's so fucking embarrassing to watch this shit. Oh.
I mean, like I say, like the first thing about how what was it? Science. What did he say? Science proves the Bible, or science doesn't make sense except for in light of the Bible. And then wants to go off to say we'll never have. We'll never have an AIDS cure.
Yeah, because it's against
a Bible verse says gays will be penalized for their sin.
Yeah. So I mean, that makes total sense if you're a complete fucking idiot.
I mean, didn't they used to say that about all sorts of things in the past? Like, boils were your burden for your sin or something like that when you became a leper.
Any kind of bad thing that happens to you. It's witch doctor shit, bro. Anything bad that happens to you is because you're bad or you got bad juju or some shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying most of that shit is like, we took care of it. Okay, like polio. I'm sure they used to tell people shit like that with polio. Oh, well, that's kind of what happens. You probably masturbated, didn't you? Yeah, we got rid of fucking polio.
Well, I mean, here's my simple argument. What about children with cancer, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Why are they being punished? Huh? So
Or
God takes the time to make sure that gay people are punished with AIDS and there's no fucking vaccine, but he also punishes fucking children with cancer. And that's the same God that you fucking worship, and you somehow justify one and the other, which lets me know that you're a douchebag all the fucking way around. Fuck you, David fucking Barton. Piece of fucking shit. Complete piece of fucking shit. And Brian Fisher and all the rest of these motherfuckers too. Ben Carson. You go find a actual Ben Carson video that's not Right Wing Watch or something, and it's all praise for him in the comments. You call the guy a clown and you get hated on nonstop. It's really fucking disheartening. It's the same with the Chris Kyle bullshit or whatever the fuck his name was, the sniper. You'd say anything, and they're like, "Nah, he's a hero. And you don't love the troops." And get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they had was it everywhere or was it just here in Texas? In Houston, they had a huge memorial. I guess he was from here. Yeah, they had that huge thing for him or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it was just here. Yeah, I'm just lucky enough to get shit like that.
Yeah, lucky you.
Yeah, TJ just has dead black kids crawling through his yard, or half dead black kids crawling through his yard. Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
America. All right, here's one, and we're getting towards the end of the show here. I do have a couple fun ones for the end, but here's a fun one I thought would be interesting to talk about. It's on the same topic pretty much we've been on all night. They're special somehow just because.
Scheduled for the State House tomorrow morning, a Hindu prayer will be read before the Senate kicks things off. Something one Idaho lawmaker says shouldn't happen. Jake Melder is live with more from inside the State House.
North Idaho Senator Steve Vick is making headlines today after speaking out against a Hindu prayer, or a mantra, that is scheduled for tomorrow. National Hindu leader Rajan Zed contacted legislative leaders asking if he could give the prayer, and they gave him the go-ahead. But it's a prayer that Vick will not be hearing. He said that he'll not sit in the Senate chambers until after the opening mantras. Vick said that he did not hear about the prayer until this weekend, and he deeply opposes it. Citing language in the state's constitution, he says that Idaho and the United States of America are founded on Judeo-Christian values, and that the traditional Christian prayers exhibit that.
So his argument is, it's a Christian country, that's why it's only Christian prayer, and I won't sit in the room if they're having a Hindu incantation or some bullshit, or whatever else, because including diversity is not what we're about as Christians. Because even if the founding fathers were all hardcore Christians, I've made the point before, they were still smart enough, hardcore Christians, to not say you have to do what we do. We leave it open to everybody. You don't have to, even if, I give you the point that they're hardcore Christians, and then there were hardcore Christians that said you don't have to be like us. You don't have to run the country according to that shit. That would be the outcome, even if they were hardcore Christians, that they didn't write hardcore Christian fucking Constitution, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, none of that shit.
No. because the personal beliefs, as much as you can quote mine and all that shit, and even on both sides, you can quote mine and you can find all kinds of shit from the founders. It doesn't fucking matter. The laws are what matter, and the laws say that it's fair game for everybody. I did a video probably about like a year ago. It was when they had the Hindu guy in the Senate, or giving like the little prayer or whatever, and then like there was like 4 different people like, hell no, God, please forgive our nation for letting this heathen speak. Like as soon as they drug that guy out, like a lady stands up, one nation under God, Jesus, Jesus. And like one at a time, like the bailiffs or whatever just kept pulling them out. And there's like 6 of these fucking people.
Jesus.
For one Hindu prayer. Dude, when a Hindu prays in our Senate or any of our political meetings, it makes the news. If anyone non-Christian does that, it makes the news.
It's they really, I don't know, they've got their conclusion and everything's gonna fit it regardless, and they're gonna fight against anything that doesn't fit it because they're fucking like stubborn and stupid, and it's a dangerous fucking combination.
Yeah.
All right, let's try and get through this one. Like I said, I've got to wake up really early, so I apologize, but we're not going to go terribly late tonight. I do have a couple more fun videos, but after that, probably going to end the show. Sorry, but we'll try and make it better next week if they can fix my fucking schedule at work.
To invite other religions in that aren't represented in the legislature, I don't believe does anything to strengthen our state or our country.
As far as people who may be against Christian prayers being used at the State House, well, Vic said that lawmakers don't have to be present for them. Now,
so basically he's saying, and if you don't want the Christian prayers, you just don't have to be in the room when they happen.
No.
Which I guess he's practicing what he preaches, because they're going to allow the Hindu shit, which he deeply opposes, but he's just not going to be in the room when they do them. And so he can oppose them all he wants, as long as he's not in the room, and as long as they go through every kind of prayer, and then you just run in for the Christian prayer and then run back out for all the other ones.
Yeah, and probably the only reason for that was, of course, because there's nothing he can do about that. There's nothing he can do to stop the Hindu prayer.
But he wants to so badly.
Well, of course he does.
So badly.
He just doesn't have, law on his side. It's a Hindu prayer.
Having the law on your side does help a little bit, just a little bit. I'm only speaking from experience.
I don't know. I'm just stuck on that. Even if I were a Christian, I can't see how sitting there while a Hindu prays is in any way a big deal. I don't know.
All right.
Or Muslim or whatever.
All right, let's watch one of our favorites. He's gonna pretty much just mimic Rudy Giuliani here.
I differ from Rudy Giuliani. I don't think that he can.
It's ironic because I forgot that it opened like that when I said that he's going to mimic Rudy Giuliani. And he opened with, I'm different than Rudy Giuliani. He thinks he can love America, he just doesn't. Whereas Glenn Beck thinks he can't love America, even if he wanted to.
His sweaters get more and more ridiculous every time.
He's just...
I don't know if you know that. And it's racist. Is that a Redskins?
It's like a beautiful mind without the beautiful part or the mind part.
Love America the way we love America because of his upbringing. And so it explains why he might, I don't think he loves America. I think he likes America, or he loves America the way I love, and we said this the other day, Great Britain. I love Great Britain. It's great. But I don't have a...
I love Great Britain. It's great.
And it's Britain.
I love the United States of America. It's, united. It's complete. Oh my God, he's such a fucking idiot. And he's like, I love him, but Obama can't. It's the way he was brought up. He just can't love anything. He hates us. He hates us. That's why, they're coming after us. Remember, They're coming after him and his producer, the Jew and the Christian.
Oh, yeah.
He won't say Mormon. He will not admit that he's a Mormon on this fucking show.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Hilarious.
Deep love for it. I don't care. If I went over to Great Britain and I was in charge of Great Britain, suddenly I'm the prime minister, I would be bringing a lot of American ideas to Great Britain.
If they made me, Glenn Beck, complete lover of America and person that is like proposing how much I love America to my audience right now, if they made me in charge of Great Britain, I would make it more like America. Like, oh, bravo. Your audience is like, if Glenn Beck is in charge, we need to make Glenn Beck in charge of Great Britain because he'll make it more like America. Because we're awesome. We got everything figured the fuck out over here. We got no problems over here, all right?
Yeah, this is why Europe laughs their fucking asses off at us. Because, well, I mean, first off, Glenn Beck in like a country where people like the majority of the population are actually kind of smart. Glenn Beck is going nowhere, and he's going there fast.
Yeah, he's a special kind of dum-dum. And it like that, like crazy, and he really thinks he's got everything figured out, and I believe he really thinks God talks to him and shit.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'll say about Glenn Beck that I can't really say as much about the others. I really think Glenn Beck legitimately believes he has two-way conversations with Jesus.
It's hardcore, man. All right, we continue.
I would say, look, it's time for some fundamental transformation. You're great. I love your history and everything. I don't get the king thing and, whatever. But
so he'd come over there, become prime minister, and then basically topple their government, is what he's just saying.
Well, I mean, he does understand that first off, there is no king, but even the queen has no
power, like politically, really.
But he probably doesn't know that.
He probably doesn't. But the idea that he would come in as prime minister and then change their government to the idea of Glenn Beck becoming prime minister.
It's like King Ralph. You ever see that movie?
Yes. Oh, I love that movie. Who was that in that? Was it
John Goodman?
Goodman. That's who it was. Oh, fucking hilarious. And we were talking about Big Lebowski earlier too.
Yeah.
All right, let's try and finish this one off.
Nationalized healthcare. Nationalized healthcare. But I love you, but I don't have that deep, stirring love for England. I'm not going to stand there and hear, God Save the Queen and weep. Where I do hear my country's music and I see something stirring from our past, and I do weep because
he's a dipshit.
And he just said, TJ,
diversity of culture means nothing to this idiot.
He just said, like, one of the first things he mentioned when he's like, when I get over there, I don't understand the whole king thing or the nationalized healthcare. Okay, so he's already just gonna fuck that place up like right off the bat, like everything like decent.
Because he loves them, Drew. Because he loves them. It's not a deep love where he's gonna weep. But you're going to weep because he's going to destroy your entire fucking society, because that's what Glenn Beck would do if he... Can you imagine Glenn Beck in a fucking position of actual power?
Oh my God.
How fucking terrifying would that shit be? You'd have fucking Mormons knocking on your door on the hour every hour.
Constant Mormons. As soon as the Mormons you first kicked off leave, another set comes up.
The walking Mormons.
It's a fucking nightmare. Yeah, it's just Mormons everywhere. Their little name badges.
All riding bicycles and shit. It's almost over.
I have a deep love for the heritage of this nation. This president doesn't have that deep love of the heritage of our nation.
Glenn Beck. So he knows Obama's deep personal thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
God probably told him.
Yeah, God probably told him. You complete fucking loon. You fucking Looney Tune motherfucker.
And people tune into this.
Take off those fake glasses. You know those glasses aren't prescription. They're just like clear fucking glass.
Did he wear glasses when he was on Fox? He didn't, did he?
I don't remember. I can't There was so much. I did so much Glenn Beck.
I actually almost want to say, maybe. You've done a lot of.
I mean, your vision can go. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah.
But at the same time, I honestly think he was like, I look like a complete idiot. What would make me look smarter? Glasses.
Well, I mean, you've done a lot of videos and stuff with Glenn Beck, and you're really familiar with him and stuff like that. I would say, and that's why I want your opinion on this. I would say he's probably even crazier now than he was on Fox.
Oh yeah, that's because he went in that direction so much that Fox News pretty much dropped him. He went crazy for a long time, and it was popular, and then everyone got to see how nutty he was. He was like pouring fake gasoline on people, like and doing insane shit. Go if you are bored ever, go to the Coctopus Prime channel and search Glenn Beck, and there is a plethora, like probably 24 hours worth of fucking material. It's ridiculous.
He seemed like when he was on Fox, it was more of like horrible ideas, political crazy. This is like God tells me to have these horrible ideas, and
yeah, he blamed some kid got into a fight or whatever, and another kid hit him in the head with a railroad tie, and he blamed it on atheism.
Yeah,
and showed, or what was it? There was he showed a fucking homicide. I believe it was caught on camera or something like that. He showed the fucking homicide. You couldn't even show his clip on YouTube because it would get you kicked off YouTube. Like that was, but he showed it on his show, and it was just to make a point that like it's atheist fault. Get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. All right, done with Glenn Beck. Yeah, fuck off. Let's do The Last Nerve, and then I'll do a sneak peek of the next Thug Life for anyone that's stuck around for the whole show. It won't be included in the edit on YouTube. And
another reason to get here and watch it live, by the way.
And it will be featured in next week's show, so you get to see it again next week. But let's do The Last Nerve here. I have someone who's recently elected to a position of power in our political system here in America.
An American atheist has killed 3 Muslims in North Carolina because they were like Christians. This man obviously had something against people of faith, whether they're Muslim or Christian, and the 3 young Muslims sadly were found shot in their homes on North Carolina on Tuesday. Well, the murderer, allegedly, of these 3 Muslim students is an atheist man named Craig Stephen Hicks, who's not just a person who doesn't believe in Islam, but he is so radically atheist that he was arrested on suspicion of 3 counts of first-degree murder.
Wait, that makes no fucking sense. He was so radically atheist that he was arrested on 3 counts of suspected murder. Like, that doesn't follow at all. Did your teleprompter fucking skip something?
Well, he probably wrote what was on the teleprompter.
I mean, Jesus. That doesn't even follow at all. And the idea, and did you notice the thing up? I'll put it back a little bit. It says atheist kills 3 Muslims for being like Christians.
Yeah, that was one of those that is completely like whatever else you could say about this. That was one of the I've never heard anything.
It's because you know that his audience wouldn't actually care about 3 Muslims being killed. So, but if you compare them, if you're saying the Muslims were being like Christians, then they would care that an atheist killed them. Because otherwise they'd be like, that's fine. Now the atheist's in jail and the Muslims are dead. America's a better place.
Yeah.
You know, but
I was hoping
you've got to shit on the atheist somehow. The only way to do that is to compare the Muslims to Christians.
Right. I was because I've never seen this. I was expecting that somewhere down the line, he's going to explain why they were like Christians. Like, were they like Christians in what? That they believed in stupid shit or something?
It goes on a little. It goes on a little further, so maybe he'll explain. We've got another minute or so, or a little less than a minute.
Was arrested on suspicion of 3 counts of first-degree murder. Hicks is reportedly a vocal supporter of United Atheists of America, and according to his personal Facebook page, was a fan of television shows like The Atheist Experience and also the Southern Poverty Law Center.
He says that like it's an awesome point or whatever, but then they dismiss if somebody's got a whole bookshelf full of like Sean Hannity and books and shit like that, Fox News and conservative bullshit. They say no, it's just a lone kind of person, a lone wolf, that you can't attribute that to us. But then they turn around and pull that same shit and try and attribute it to atheism, that this guy lost his shit. Like if I have a moment of road rage and get into a fight with someone, it's not because of my atheism. And they could argue, well, a Christian wouldn't do it because of their Christianity. Well, bullshit, because if that was the case, then Christians wouldn't make up the large majority in American jails.
It's just like the pot thing you talked about. About how, I happen to have pot in my system, but it wasn't because pot that I did this.
Yeah, exactly. They have a problem with causation and correlation.
No.
They have a serious issue with that, and I think that leads to a lot of their bullshit. Or I think they maybe depend on it to get away with their bullshit.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to point out, TJ, is I didn't hear the goddamn podcast mentioned. Because our people, they would, of course, they would never do anything like this.
No.
Wanted to add that.
If you really want to, combat atheist terrorism, the best thing you can do is probably become one of our patrons.
Yeah.
Because we are way too fucking lazy to actually go out and kill people. Way too lazy. So if you want to keep us drunk and entertaining you, then please do become a patron. I do appreciate that. All right, we're almost done here, and then we'll give that sneak peek of the next Thug Life to all the people watching live.
Here's a radical left-wing atheist who's going around killing people of faith. He's posted a number of anti-religious images and writings on his Facebook page. One of the images he posted said, and here's a quote, "Why radical Christians and radical Muslims are so opposed to each other's influence when they agree about so many ideological issues."
So that's how he compared Christians to Muslims, was to say that like in a Muslim country they push Islam nonstop and Christians say that's fucked up, but then here in America they do the same thing.
Well, and another thing I wanted to point out, Clan Schmidt said that he was going around killing people of faith. No, he killed 3 people.
Yeah.
But he's not still terrorizing, I'm just looking for anybody with faith and they will die.
From what I understand, it was over a parking thing.
They had apparently they had been in the dad of the people that died, and it's absolutely fucking horrible that anybody died. This dude is a fucking retard.
Oh, completely.
But and that should go without saying. But the dad said that this was an ongoing thing over parking spots. I don't know where this was, but this dude is completely. Anytime you're going to kill anybody, especially over some trivial shit like that, you're a fucking idiot. And it does show you that just because you don't believe in God doesn't mean you're somehow smart or something like that. But we've been saying that shit all along.
It definitely doesn't. When someone comes in, if they're super religious, I immediately knock down the level of their intelligence that I give them credit for. Immediately. And I mean, whatever. If people do that to other kinds of people all the time, but for me, I mean, if you want to keep it to yourself, and maybe I'll never know, and I don't have to judge you on that. But if you come in telling me some stupid shit that I really don't want to hear, and nobody else wants to hear, and it's complete bullshit, like what he's saying about these atheists, or that oh, Jesus is letting you breathe today, or whatever else kind of bullshit that you want to fucking tell me, I'm gonna lower my respect and the level of intelligence I believe you have immediately. That's just me. So hate me, love me, whatever. All right, we're done with this shit. Thank you guys for tuning in to the goddamn podcast. Please do check out and subscribe to the channel. Check out our Patreon, the rewards we have available. Please consider becoming a patron. Check out our Facebook, give us requests and all that shit, and we'll see you next Tuesday.